Tonight, we have a chilling tale that will send shivers down your spine. Get ready to hear the haunting account of Annora, who writes to us from beyond the grave, desperate for help. Her story will leave you questioning the boundaries between life and death, and make you wonder if some curses are far too real to escape. So, buckle up, dear viewers, as we dive into the mysterious world of cursed ice rinks and eerie Wikipedia predictions. This is one episode you won't want to miss. Subscribe and ring the bell to never miss our chilling tales. Like the video for mysterious supernatural stories, and share your thoughts in the comments. We value your feedback.
Bree, I can't believe I'm writing this from beyond the grave. This is insane, but you have to believe me. The things happening to me now are terrifying, and I need your help. After I sent you that message, I was still locked in that old hotel outside of Prague. The room was eerie and filled with a chilling silence that made my skin crawl. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, my heart pounded in my chest, and my palms were sweaty as I continuously refreshed that haunting Wikipedia page. Finally, the clock struck midnight, and I waited anxiously for the page to update. The anticipation was unbearable, and as the page loaded, my eyes widened in disbelief. The date of my death had changed, and it now showed tomorrow's date. I was trembling, tears streaming down my face as I realized that somehow, the page was predicting my death. I couldn't wrap my head around it, Bree. I felt trapped and alone, like some dark force was taunting me. I was desperate to break free from this nightmare. I decided to try and contact someone, anyone who could help me understand what was happening. I ventured out of my room, stepping into the dimly lit hallway of the hotel. The walls were decorated with faded portraits of people I couldn't recognize, making me feel even more unsettled. I searched for someone who spoke English, but had no luck. The only response I received from the hotel staff were blank, emotionless stares. It was then that I noticed a peculiar pattern. Everywhere I turned, I saw the same date repeated, tomorrow's date, the date of my supposed death. It was as if this ominous date was following me, taunting me at every turn. Feeling a desperate need to escape, I decided to leave the hotel and find a place with an internet connection. I hoped that by changing my surroundings, I could break free from this nightmare. I walked through the narrow streets of Prague, the city's beauty now obscured by a sense of impending doom. Finally, I stumbled upon an internet cafe. I rushed in, my heart pounding, and quickly sat at a computer. With trembling hands, I opened the browser, praying that the Wikipedia page would have changed somehow. But to my horror, the page remained the same, showing my death date with eerie certainty. The world seemed to close in around me as panic set in. I couldn't understand how this was happening, how the internet knew my fate. Feeling increasingly isolated and overwhelmed, I began to doubt my own sanity. Was I hallucinating all of this? Was this some cruel joke? But the more I questioned myself, the more the darkness seemed to envelop me. Desperate for answers, I attempted to call my parents, but the line was filled with static, and their voices were distorted beyond recognition. It was as if I was being cut off from the world, left to face my fate alone. In my state of panic, I couldn't think clearly, and I started searching for any clues that might lead me out of this nightmare. I stumbled upon a local folklore about a cursed ice rink that was once a site of tragic accidents and mysterious disappearances. According to the legend, the souls of those who perished in that place were said to haunt the ice, seeking revenge on anyone who dared to set foot on it. As crazy as it sounded, I couldn't ignore the connection. The Crystal Classic competition was held on that very ice rink when I first discovered the Wikipedia page. Could this curse have something to do with what was happening to me? With a desperate hope for salvation, I made my way to the ice rink, shivering with fear and trepidation. The place was eerie, with an otherworldly atmosphere that sent chills down my spine. As I stepped onto the ice, I felt a haunting presence around me, like the ghosts of the past were reaching out to claim me. As I skated, the sounds of haunting whispers echoed in the frozen air, and a cold wind seemed to follow my every move. The ice felt like it was trying to pull me down into its depths, suffocating me with its icy grip. The darkness seemed to engulf me, and I could almost see sinister figures moving in the shadows. In a desperate attempt to escape, I pushed myself to skate harder and faster. But the more I struggled, the tighter the grip of the curse became. It was as if the ice itself was conspiring to make the Wikipedia page's prediction come true. As I gasped for breath, I noticed a faint glimmer of light in the distance. There, in the middle of the ice rink, was a small, ancient-looking shrine. It was adorned with candles and peculiar symbols, emanating an eerie energy. Summoning all my courage, I approached the shrine, hoping that it held the key to breaking the curse. As I reached out to touch it, a surge of energy coursed through me, and a voice whispered in my mind, "The truth will set you free." Suddenly, I understood. The curse wasn't some malevolent force, it was born out of my guilt and the lies I had allowed to shape my life. I had deceived myself and others, and that deception had led me down this path of darkness. With newfound clarity, I decided to confront the truth and face the consequences of my actions. I made a confession on the Wikipedia page, admitting my lies and taking responsibility for my past mistakes. It was a small act of defiance against the curse that had consumed me. Miraculously, as I hit submit, the page updated once more. The death date was gone, replaced by the words, "Annora Petrova seeks redemption." It was as if the curse had lifted, and I was finally free. The next day, I returned to the ice rink, not as a victim, but as someone ready to start anew. The dark presence was gone, and in its place was a sense of hope and renewal. Bree, I can't explain how any of this happened, and I don't know if you'll believe me. But I needed to share this with you, my once best friend. I hope that somehow, you can find it in your heart to forgive me for everything that transpired between us. Now, I'm determined to make amends and live an honest life. I've realized that the pursuit of greatness at any cost is not worth sacrificing one's integrity and the bonds of friendship. Please, Bree, if you receive this message, know that I am sorry and that I will carry the weight of my past actions with me for the rest of my days. But I am finally on the path to redemption, and I pray that this nightmare will never haunt anyone else again. With hope and regret. Annora.